Laura Ingraham has 3 kids, but no husband. Shocking, right? Despite being one of the most recognizable conservative voices in media, Laura Ingraham has never walked down the aisle. Instead, she has dedicated her life to raising her 3 adopted children as a single mother. While some might assume a high-profile career left no room for love, Ingraham's greatest devotion has always been to her family. Meet the children who have shaped her world and the journey that led her to embrace motherhood. Laura Ingraham's personal life has long been a topic of intrigue for both her supporters and critics. As a prominent conservative media figure, her views on traditional family values have been a consistent part of her public persona. Yet, despite advocating for these values, her personal choices regarding marriage and family have not always aligned with societal expectations. Over the years, Ingraham has been involved in several notable romantic relationships, though none have culminated in marriage. One of her most well-known relationships was with political commentator and author Dinesh D'Souza. The two were romantically linked in the early 2000s, a time when both were rising voices in conservative circles. Their relationship, while significant, did not lead to marriage, and they eventually went their separate ways. Later, Ingraham became involved with businessman James V. Reyes. This relationship gained widespread public attention, particularly after the two became engaged in 2005. However, the engagement was called off not long after it was announced. A major factor in their breakup was Ingraham's diagnosis with breast cancer, a battle she openly discussed in the years that followed. The health scare marked a pivotal moment in her life, forcing her to reevaluate her priorities and ultimately steering her toward a path that did not include marriage. Despite the serious nature of some of her relationships, Ingraham has chosen not to marry. Instead, she has directed her energy toward her career and later toward motherhood. Her decision to remain unmarried, particularly as a conservative figure who frequently speaks about the importance of family, has sparked conversation and debate. In various interviews, she has addressed this topic with candor, expressing that while she deeply values family, she has found fulfillment outside the bounds of traditional marriage. "I've always believed in the importance of family, but family can come in many different forms," Ingraham once stated. This perspective has been a defining aspect of her personal journey. Her decision to adopt 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter, further exemplifies her belief that motherhood does not necessarily require a conventional marital structure. She has embraced single parenthood wholeheartedly, balancing the demands of a high-profile career with the responsibilities of raising her children. In 2008, her dream of motherhood became a reality when she adopted her first child, Maria, from Guatemala. The adoption process was both challenging and rewarding, an experience that Ingraham has described as life-changing. Bringing Maria home marked the beginning of a new chapter in her life, one that would redefine her priorities and reshape her worldview. "Becoming a mother is the most rewarding thing I've ever done," she said in a rare interview, encapsulating the depth of her love for her daughter. Maria, whom she calls a blessing, quickly became the heart of Ingraham's home, filling it with joy and purpose. Yet, for Ingraham, one child was not enough to fulfill her vision of a family. After successfully navigating the complexities of Maria's adoption, she decided to expand her family further, turning to Russia for her next 2 adoptions. In 2009, she welcomed her second child, Michael, and in 2011, her youngest son, Nikolai, completed the family. Each adoption brought its own set of unique challenges, particularly given the difficulties inherent in international adoption. Ingraham has been vocal about the bureaucratic and political hurdles that often plague the adoption process, making it unnecessarily difficult for children to find loving homes. Her frustrations stem from the belief that adoption should always prioritize the welfare of children above all else. Adoption, first and foremost, needs to be about the children, she has stated emphatically. What's best for them? Children should never be used as bargaining chips by one nation against another. They're not commodities. This should never be about politics. Preventing the adoption of a child of any age into a loving, safe home is selfish and cruel. Her advocacy for streamlining the adoption process underscores her deep commitment to ensuring that as many children as possible are given the chance to grow up in a nurturing environment. While acknowledging that due diligence is necessary to prevent potential abuse, Ingraham believes that an overabundance of caution should not lead to unnecessary delays or outright bans on international adoption. Wood streamlining background. Checks and home visits mean cutting corners that would put them in jeopardy. No one wants to see that happen. One horror story of adoptive parents abusing kids is all it takes for a country to shut down all their international adoptions, leaving tens, even hundreds of thousands of kids without a forever home. Through her advocacy and personal experience, Ingraham has shown a light on the realities of adoption, emphasizing that while the process can be arduous, it is ultimately about giving children the love and stability they deserve. She has consistently used her platform to speak out against policies that hinder adoption efforts, making a strong case for reforms that would make it easier for children to find permanent families. Motherhood has profoundly shaped Ingraham's life and perspective. While she is known for her demanding career in media and politics, she has made it clear that her children remain her top priority. Balancing a high-profile career with the responsibilities of being a single mother has required immense dedication. But she has never wavered in her belief that raising her children is her greatest and most important role. Faith and values have played a significant role in guiding Ingraham through the adoption process and her journey as a mother. She's often spoken about feeling a deep sense of calling toward motherhood, one that was not dependent on having a husband or traditional family structure. For her, the essence of family lies in love, commitment, and the willingness to nurture and protect those who need it most. Today, Maria, Michael, and Nikolai are growing up in a home filled with love, structure, and the values their mother holds dear. While the journey to building her family was not without obstacles, Ingraham remains grateful for the path that led her to motherhood. She often reflects on how her children have enriched her life in ways she never could have imagined, and she continues to champion the cause of adoption, hoping to inspire others to open their hearts and homes to children in need. Laura Ingraham's approach to parenting is deeply rooted in her conservative values, emphasizing discipline, responsibility, and independence. As a single mother, she has consistently underscored the importance of instilling structure, traditional morals, and a strong work ethic in her children. Ingraham's parenting philosophy is not merely a reflection of her ideological beliefs, but also a testament to her unwavering commitment to raising well-rounded, principled individuals. Ingraham has often stated that her primary goal as a parent is to ensure her children develop a strong sense of right and wrong. She firmly believes that moral clarity is essential in an increasingly complex and often morally ambiguous world. "I want my kids to understand the value of hard work, faith, and integrity," she once noted in an interview, reinforcing her desire to pass on these foundational principles. She advocates for a structured household where rules and expectations are clearly defined, helping her children develop a sense of accountability and self-discipline from an early age. Being a high-profile media figure presents its own set of parenting challenges, and Ingraham has been candid about the difficulties of balancing her demanding career with the responsibilities of motherhood. As the host of the Ingraham Angle on Fox News, she navigates a fast-paced, high-stakes environment that often requires long hours and intense scrutiny. Despite these demands, she makes it a priority to carve out quality time for her children. "Chon-egg may be tough on TV, but at home, I'm just mom," she has stated, emphasizing the distinction between her public persona and her private role as a mother. This commitment to being present in her children's lives is a recurring theme in her discussions about parenting. She has spoken about the importance of creating a stable and nurturing home environment where open communication and mutual respect are paramount. Even amid her professional obligations, Ingraham strives to maintain daily routines that reinforce family cohesion, whether it be shared meals, bedtime rituals, or weekend activities that allow her to bond with her children away from the public eye. Faith plays a significant role in Ingraham's parenting approach. As a devout Catholic, she views her religious beliefs as a guiding force in both her personal and parental decisions. She ensures that her children are raised with the same spiritual foundation that shaped her own values, instilling in them a reverence for faith, prayer, and moral responsibility. Church attendance and religious teachings are integral aspects of their upbringing, reinforcing the ethical and moral principles that Ingraham holds dear. In addition to faith and discipline, Ingraham is deeply invested in fostering independence in her children. She believes that while structure and guidance are crucial, it is equally important to encourage critical thinking and self-reliance. "I want them to grow up questioning the world around them, but always with a moral compass," she has stated, highlighting her desire to strike a balance between traditional values and intellectual curiosity. She encourages her children to engage in thoughtful discussions, express their opinions, and develop a strong sense of self-awareness while remaining anchored in a framework of ethical responsibility. Ingraham's parenting philosophy also extends to education and extracurricular activities. She prioritizes academic rigor and expects her children to approach their studies with diligence and dedication. She believes that a solid education is not only a pathway to professional success, but also a means of developing character and resilience. Beyond academics, she emphasizes the value of extracurricular involvement, whether in sports, music, or community service, as a way to build discipline, teamwork, and social responsibility. As a single mother, Ingraham has faced unique challenges in raising her children without a co-parent, but she views this as an opportunity rather than a setback. She has spoken about the joys and difficulties of parenting on her own, acknowledging the sacrifices involved, but also the deep fulfillment that comes with nurturing her children's growth. She often credits her support system, including close friends and family, for helping her navigate the complexities of single parenthood while maintaining a thriving career. Laura Ingraham has long been an advocate for adoption, particularly international adoption, using her platform to shed light on the challenges, complexities, and bureaucratic obstacles that often hinder the process. As a prominent conservative commentator, Ingraham has emphasized that adoption should remain a compassionate, apolitical act, arguing that the welfare of children seeking homes should transcend partisan divides and governmental red tape. Ingraham's advocacy is deeply personal, shaped by her own experience as an adoptive mother. She has adopted 3 children, one from Guatemala, another from Russia, and a third from China, each adoption exposing her to the intricate, often frustrating hurdles that prospective parents face, particularly in international cases. These experiences have fueled her commitment to pushing for reforms that would streamline the adoption process and remove unnecessary delays, ensuring that children in need of loving homes can be placed with families as efficiently as possible. Throughout the years, Ingraham has spoken candidly about the emotional and logistical difficulties she encountered while navigating international adoption. She's expressed frustration with the bureaucratic inefficiencies that can leave children languishing in orphanages due to excessive legal red tape. One of the main issues she has highlighted is the variability in international adoption laws, which differ drastically from one country to another and are often influenced by diplomatic relations, shifting political climates, and changing regulations that sometimes make the process more challenging rather than more accessible. A particular concern Ingraham has raised is the closure of adoption programs in certain countries due to political decisions rather than the best interests of children. For example, Russia's 2012 ban on U.S. adoptions, a decision largely viewed as a retaliatory political move, left many American families devastated and countless Russian orphans without homes. Ingraham, having adopted a child from Russia, was vocal in her criticism of such policies, arguing that they prioritize political posturing over the welfare of children. She has similarly criticized restrictive policies in other countries, as well as increasing regulatory burdens imposed by international organizations, which she believes can deter potential adoptive parents and prolong the process unnecessarily. In addition to advocating for international adoption reform, Ingraham has also spoken about the importance of ensuring that adoption remains a viable and encouraged option domestically. She has argued that the process in the United States can be equally cumbersome, with extensive paperwork, long wait times, and significant financial burdens placed on adoptive parents. Ingraham has called for reforms that would make domestic adoption more accessible, such as reducing costs, expediting the approval process, and offering better support systems for adoptive families. Her stance on adoption is rooted in her belief that every child deserves a loving home, regardless of their country of birth. She has used her media platform, including her television and radio shows, to bring awareness to adoption-related issues, interview experts, and encourage policymakers to take action. While her strong opinions on various political matters have at times drawn controversy, Ingraham has consistently maintained that adoption should be above politics. Adoption is about giving children a home, not about politics, she has stated on numerous occasions. reinforcing her belief that the focus should always remain on the well-being of the child rather than the ideological debates surrounding adoption. Policies. Beyond advocacy, Ingraham has also highlighted the joys and transformative power of adoption. She has spoken about the deep bond she shares with her children and the fulfillment that comes with parenthood. Through personal anecdotes, she has shared the triumphs and challenges of raising adopted children, offering insight into the unique experiences of adoptive families. By doing so, she has helped to normalize adoption and encourage more prospective parents to consider opening their homes to children in need. While adoption remains a complex issue with many moving parts, including international diplomacy, legal frameworks, and social considerations, Ingraham's passionate advocacy has kept it in the public eye. She continues to push for policies that prioritize the best interests of children, advocating for reforms that make adoption more accessible, while preserving ethical safeguards to prevent corruption and trafficking. Her unwavering commitment to the cause underscores her belief that every child, regardless of nationality or background, deserves a loving and stable family. What do you think about Laura Ingraham's decision to become a single mother? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye!